I don't know what was going on.
That's all right. I mean, I don't know. It's just like that. I think the thing with this kind of setup, I get so used to everything just working all the time. I just can't. We just don't understand when it doesn't work for 2 seconds.
I
It's
must be.
just
I must have. I think I've got trailing edge technology. I think that's what it is.
I think it might have just been a connection. Sometimes it's just a connection. Darren, how are you
Hope you're not
doing?
seeing. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I hope that you're not seeing me in black and white.
No, I'm not seeing you in black and white. I mean, there might be a test card appearing any minute where we
Oh,
just
okay, we'll get a signal
no,
interference. Okay, okay.
not
All
at
right. I'm
all.
trying to
No,
get there.
it's great to see you again. And when you were speaking on the Facebook group, and I said, oh, when was it that we last did an interview? You said, oh, well, when was it? Was it like 2021?
It was October 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So quite a lot of stuff has happened since then, I imagine. What's been going on? I
Yes.
mean, I've been loving I love this. This is wonderful. When did you do
Couldn't.
this?
Yeah, I did that in November of 2021. I thought I'd sent it to you, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, that was just an idea I had for the Hammerhead song. So I thought it tied in together with the female figure. And then anyway, I was really pleased with it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I might have just clicked off a little bit, but yeah, it's
Okay.
wonderful. Really love it. Really love the colors and
Yeah.
the design basically. So have you found that you've been able to be doing since I last spoke to be doing a bit more of of your work? Have you been getting a few commissions, or I know you're doing stand up
Yes.
as well. What's been going on?
Yeah, I did. I did get a few commissions. That's been very helpful, and actually, a couple of people in the group. I did one for a girl. She said her mother was a big Buddy Holly fan, so she had a picture of him, and I found a better one. It was it was him sitting with his wife. Anyway, I put her mom sitting with him, and she was thrilled. She gave it to her for Christmas, so that was kind of cool. I've done a couple of things like that. Um,
That's a
other,
wonderful idea, actually. Personalizing, presumably, you said you've done a few things like that.
yeah,
Personalizing. I mean, I've seen a lot of you because you use yourself as your muse, which is great because it's fair enough. It's okay. I mean, you're very accessible, so why not use yourself as your muse? And so I can see why you would in different settings. But what a lovely idea! What a brilliant idea, actually, that people can um, personalize your art with personal experiences that they're having or memories, or as you said, someone that's really close to them. So what are your, because I've often seen the stuff that you've done with, I know that when it's with you, it's with like with somebody famous or a famous setting or a famous scene or a famous scene from a movie or a
yeah,
current
yeah.
affairs incident. Because I've seen that, I hadn't really thought about that personalizing aspect that people could do. So you said you've done quite a bit of that. Do you want to talk a bit more about some of the other commissions that you've done, or how that could look for people if they were looking to do something a bit more personalized?
Well, I'm waiting to get some photos of a friend of mine. Um, she had three boxers, and they've all passed. So she wants to do something to put all the dogs together for that. So as soon as she
Oh,
gives me the images, then I can put something together. I sent her some ideas. I don't know if you've ever seen these, but they'll do like it's like Renaissance images of these people in like a Napoleon Bonaparte jacket, but it's got a dog's head on it. So and they're really realistic looking out. So I sent her some of those. I said, if you want to do that, it's fun. We could put your dog's head, on there. But anyway, so I do pet ones. You saw the one I did of my nephew that had passed away with Jesus.
I
Um,
did see that, yeah.
that and I have some other people that have asked me about doing something similar for them for family members. So yeah, I've got some stuff coming in. It's been kind of a slow burn, but I'm really happy to be doing that. And then again, with my stuff that I always put my face on there, the 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 novelty to me is it's always the very same face.
I
Nothing changes.
remember.
And so I try to incorporate it in all these different things. And the novelty is it's always the same face used every time. So anyway, that's fun to do. A few of I've done a few of those recently. I try to do at least one a week, like you do a throwback Thursday or flashback Friday or something like that. And I mean, and like I told you before, the criteria I have is I want it to look as realistic as possible, but then have the comedy part of it. So people laugh. I want to make people laugh. So when they see those, they're like, "Oh, what's this guy doing now?" And makes people laugh. Hopefully makes them laugh, and I get a lot of laughs from that stuff. So, but
Yeah, and
I wanted to send you this one with the hammerhead to show that I do other things too. I do.
this is
So it was so nice
beautiful.
to do something without my face on it.
Yeah, this is really gorgeous. I mean, I'll move away again. It's just um, and yeah, it's interesting. It's not a surprise really because I've seen the standard that you're working at because it's a really sophisticated, accomplished standard because you've been a digital Photoshop photographer for a long time, haven't you? We spoke about that in the last interview, and
Yes, about
it's
30 years. Yeah.
yeah, and it's really lovely to see. Well, to see other aspects, absolutely, when you're the stuff where your muse is really entertaining and it's brilliant, it's brilliantly executed.
Oh, thank you.
But of course, as you say, you're able to do all sorts of things, really, depending on the
Yeah.
criteria of what somebody might be interested in doing. So what's your kind of vibe at the moment? What's taking your catching your eye at the moment? That's whether it's something in current affairs or whether it really is that you're doing things for people personally at the moment. But I'm curious to know actually what's catching your eye in the media that you think, oh, if you haven't done it yet, I'm going to do something on that.
Well, I did that one I sent you when I put my head on Zoolander with Penelope Cruz, and I got on some Zoolander kick, and I found these images because his clothes are so outlandish, and I love the first Zoolander movie. And anyway, so I thought that was fun to do because he's got that crazy hair. So I did that, and then I've saved some other images. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll just like get on the internet, get on Instagram, or I might come up with an idea, or a lot of times I'll just stumble on something while I'm looking around, and I'm like, okay, so I'll save the image, and then I'll put it in a folder on my phone, and then I can, come back to it when I kind of fine tune the idea. But the main thing is I wanted to make people laugh, be humorous, but look realistic. That's really
Yeah,
the only
that's very
criteria.
much part of it, isn't it? I'm just trying to think because I didn't get any of the images up. I mean, I've got this one, but I didn't think about it. Have you got any to hand? Or have you got Instagram? Because while we're chatting, if you've got any to hand, you can show them on your screen, and then I'll also research a few while we're chatting. Would Instagram be the best, or have you got a website?
If you go to my Instagram,
Okay.
it's and I'll spell it out for it's Folux Image at Gmail. Oh, excuse me, Folux Image is what it is. So it's
Yeah.
FAUXLUXIMAGE. That's where all my detailed ones, the good images that I do. Um, I also make memes. I have a meme page. It's called Pop Trash Memes, and those
I
I
need to
just do
find
with
both of them.
do
I've got this coming up, but it's not faux lux. I'll just get on Instagram and then we'll have a look. So tell us a bit about the memes while is that sounds like it's a lot of fun as well. Tell us about that just while I'm looking for your thing on here.
sure. The memes that just come up, like if I have a funny idea that I want to do, not with me in it per se, but just like just like memes. And I've done some custom memes for some people before. It was funny. This one girl, she had sent me. She's in Germany, and she sent me this thing, and she said, "Can you take my brother and can you take this image?" And it was a guy on a phone. And anyway, the joke was her brother will send someone an email, and then he calls them, and then he says, "Hey, did you get the email I just sent you?" So that was the joke to her. It's like instead of just calling, he sends an email and then calls to follow up. So I put his face on there, and she was really happy with it. She said, "Oh, she's going to get me to do three more." So I'm waiting to hear back from her. But then the other memes are just if you go to my meme page, it's Pop Trash Memes.
Well, I just found your first page, so let's just go. Hang on
Okay.
a second. I'll just share this, and we'll have a look at this first, and then you can,
Yes.
and then we can. So you can see, yeah. So these are your most recent ones. Recent ones here, yeah. The Penelope Cruz one, I think I saw that. Maybe you sent that one to me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's-
That's ridiculous.
well,
And then I always try to do a backstory, like like I was dating them or something, and that's the ridiculous part of it because it's so outlandish. I mean, like
I was
there's
then
like
still a stunt double.
I,
I haven't read these so much before. I had a fiery brief romance. It ended when she saw me wearing my lucky cab. I hadn't read these before. I'd just been looking at the, because I know he's a digital Photoshop photographer, so I'm busy looking at the image. I'm going to have to read the backstories now. That's going to be a whole nother afternoon when I could be doing something, but not necessarily better, as it turns out.
if there's a black and white on there, I think it's pretty funny. It's one with Elvis.
This one?
And
No, not that one. Further
oh,
down.
yeah, there's one. Oh, there's the one I did with a shark. I'm in the shark's mouth.
Oh, okay. I wonder where's the Elvis one? Is it much
I
further
think it's
down?
pretty far down. I did that a couple of years ago.
I mean, I
It's
can
a
keep
black and
going.
white. Yeah, it's. Oh, I think you just passed it. I think I saw it.
Yeah, there's that. That's not
Oh no,
Elvis,
that's
though.
Salvador Dali. Sorry,
No. Wow, I mean, you've
but there's an
mixed with
Elvis
so
one
many
that's
stars. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking for this Elvis one. I wonder where, 'cause you've got so many
It
here. I wonder what is it
is.
about the Elvis one that's really
Oh, there's the one with Grace Jones. I don't know if you saw
and
that.
Tina Turner. Yeah, I mean, you've really known, you've just wined and dined with all of them, haven't you? Let's have a look at. Oh, that's an incredible photo, actually, isn't it, of Grace
Yeah,
Jones?
that's at
Oh, and
Studio 54, and I said that. I think I said something like, that's when I was serving drinks to her at Studio 54, something like that.
yeah, when you're Grace Jones's bartender. Let's have a.
Yeah,
That's this one,
and the
yeah. So,
Elvis. Let's see, the Elvis one.
well, I'm still looking down for the Elvis one. I can see Marilyn Monroe. This is a
Oh yeah,
fabulous one. That's so fun.
yeah. She was a minx.
Well, I mean, the stories that you must have had because you've had all of these experiences, haven't you? I've gone right down to
Oh,
the bottom and I haven't found Elvis here. I wonder,
oh, there it is.
oh,
There
there
it
we
is.
go. All right, so it's one of your first ones. Oh, I've got no comment. Oh, no, no comments yet. Oh, that's the one.
Oh well, that one I said that I met Elvis backstage. I said Evil Knievel had run over me that afternoon when I was filling his whiskey cane, and I said it hurt like hell, and Elvis laughed when I told him to break a leg. So here I am sitting in a wheelchair, and Elvis is looking down at me. So I thought that was funny. That was a funny one.
Goodness me.
So just try to get a laugh out of, that's when I was just scrolling around on the internet looking at stuff, and I saw that picture of that guy with Elvis. I think it was a governor or something. So anyway, I just try to.
I can't resist as a singer. I can't resist the one with
Oh yeah,
Tina
because
Turner.
you used to work with her. Yes.
Oh, I did for a little while, yeah, a long time ago. I did a few shows with her, with my private dancer, as I call her. I told her, "With you, my love, I could change the world." She said, "We don't need another hero."
We will not need another hero. Yes, if that
I
was my
mean,
Thunderdome claim to fame. Yeah, that was a funny
fabulous.
one.
They're just they're they're really funny, yes, but they're so. Oh
Which
my goodness. Oh, can you remember when that first came out? I mean, my goodness, that's brave to choose that one as well. When Borat first came out, that mankini.
yes.
I can remember being, I don't know where, I was on tour actually, and somebody was busking in that outfit. I thought that is, of all the busking
Oh my
outfits you
gosh.
can, I know, I think that's what everybody else, that is a brave fashion choice, just at the
Yeah,
level of the photograph, let alone when you're busking in the middle of, I think it was in Germany somewhere. So yeah, these are
I
all
was pretty
wonderful.
proud of my wax job.
What what are these ones? What is this? Oh, it's
Some of those I put. Those are some I just that's one of the memes, and sometimes I'll post them on both pages. But that's just like one of the memes.
All right, I see. I don't know if I can. Yeah. So, what did you say the memes are? So, I always thought memes have got like, more than a caption. Like a meme has got like a kind of some kind of action, some kind of video. Is it not?
Oh yeah, some of those are. Yeah, they can be that too. I don't do any
Yeah.
of that. I haven't done any video of any kind. But
Yeah. So, what are the what? Let me see if I can find your meme page. What's that one called?
it's called Pop Trash Memes.
Okay. Trash memes. No, I've just gone back. No, it's not. It doesn't want me to find that one. Let's just see if we can find. I'll try again. I mean, on Instagram, this could. Oh yeah, here we go. I forgot I was still sharing the screen as well, but here it is anyway.
You got okay. You got it. There it is. Is
So,
anything showing up?
oh no, this is private, so I don't know what memes you've got going on. So you'd have to accept me because it's not
Oh
letting
yeah,
me.
you'll have to. Yeah, you'll have to send me a.
Yeah, I just did that. You'll have to accept me. So the memes, is that something you started doing recently?
I thought about it. I guess it was about a year ago. I just thought that would be a great name because it's just pop trash, and it's just it's frivolous. It doesn't mean it, it's just some of these funny images, just stuff that strikes me funny but doesn't have anything to do with me. And so I thought of so many ideas, and I'm like, well, I want to have faux lux image to be primarily
I'm just
just
going to
my
stop sharing for a
detailed.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My,
just while I'm waiting for you to accept my request as a pop trash.
oh, let me. Do I close out of the Zoom to go to
Oh,
that
I
to
don't.
do
No,
it?
I don't think you
I don't
need
want to
to.
lose you.
Oh, don't worry. I know because it took a while for us to get on. Don't worry
Yeah,
about that.
because
I
I'm
mean,
on
no,
my
you shouldn't
phone.
have to. You should just go to Instagram, and it should just go on to Instagram while you're on there. It shouldn't close this down. But we don't have to if you find that a little bit tricky to find.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna try it right
I
now.
can pause this for a second
No,
if this is right.
I can see you.
Okay, we're fine. Yeah, we're back on recording. So let's try
Okay.
sharing now and see. Yeah, so this is your pop trash memes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is pure fun, right? So you say so it well not so
Oh
you
yeah.
say. I mean it is rather than so is it really just whatever catches your eye?
Yeah, and if some of them are funny, I'll try to. Sometimes I post between both pages just to because some people follow one and don't follow the other. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
love
that
it.
was a great Valentine's Day there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this. Let's see. Things that remind me of. Oh, maybe not that one so much. Pimple of the picture. But again, it's really, as you said, it's pop track. It's throwaway when I saw.
Yeah.
These just look like a lot of fun. Who I don't know who this is. Who's this?
That's Farrah Fawcett, and I was trying to make it like I was one of the Bee Gees. So
It's a kind of a mixture of both of them, right?
yeah, it looks like I'm wearing a partial, but I'm really not.
Yeah, these are fabulous as well. So did
So
you?
there's go
Yeah,
ahead.
scroll down them. Is there anything else that's catching your eyes? I'm scrolling down.
The one right that one where I've got it's me hugging myself with that hoodie on, so it was like you're taking the picture, so it looks like a girl is kissing your face, but it's really just you the whole time.
Okay, right. Yeah, that trick.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy being me, Anna. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, we've all got our cross to bear, right?
Oh, I thought that one was funny. That the one where go up a little bit. Well, that picture
Prince.
that's me with my daughter's mother back in 86.
Here.
80.
Oh,
Yes.
this one. Which one?
Yeah, yes. I just posted that because I wanted to
Oh.
put that. That was You think I watch Miami Vice any? Come on. Yeah, they're just again, they're just funny, fun ones that I think are funny to put up on that page, and sometimes I cross over. Oh, that one.
Oops,
Scroll
come back to
down a
something else.
little bit. Oh, sorry.
Scroll down a little bit. What's
Yeah,
happening here?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I
I
don't.
think
Yeah.
I think I said the chicken was drier than the wine. I can't remember. I can't read it.
Yeah. Yeah, they look really good fun, and it's just it's that thing of just combining, isn't it? The
Yeah,
real fun element with your expertise, with how accomplished you are, which is not something you necessarily say to yourself, but it's great when you have been doing something for a certain amount of time so that you can actually combine the two and have a bit of a laugh with it, because we can get really serious about our art.
that's what I was
Just be
going to say. I mean, life is so serious. There's so much, and there's a lot of folks that post things on online, and they're really going through stuff, and it's like I just want to be lighthearted and give people a laugh every day. That people will come and look at my page, and they'll have a laugh, and it makes them feel good, better during the day. So that's where it comes from, really.
well,
And it
exactly.
gives it feeds my creativity, the need that I have to do Photoshop, and then my need to make people laugh with the comedy part of it. So for me, I love it. I can, when I'm working on an image, while I'm working on it, I'm thinking of the caption for it. And a lot of times what I'll do is if I get really detailed working on something, I'll stop and I go outside, take a break, and then come back with fresh eyes, and I can pick up from there. And then after I've done it, I'll sit for a little bit, and I'm thinking, like, what's the caption going to be? And a lot of times it'll just come to me, and then I'll fine tune it, and to make it as humorous as I can. So it's a lot of fun for me, and hopefully it makes people smile and laugh. And it's a win-win for me when I get to do that.
Yeah, it's great because it's very identifiable as your style, and you said it's natural for you to do it because I know you do a lot of stand. Well, I know stand up is one of your things. So have you been doing some stand up recently as well, or not, or more your comedy is through your work at the moment?
No, I have not done stand up in a while. I was sick for a little while. I was in the
Oh,
hospital because I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I
I
have to take
remember. Yeah,
insulin.
you said, yeah.
Yeah, I have to take insulin several times a day. And what happens if your sugar gets way out of whack? If it goes really high, it's ketoacidosis is what it's called. And anyway, I don't want to bore anybody with that, but anyway,
Not
so I
boring.
had to take care of that.
How are you
And it got
feeling?
me. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. Sometimes it just gets out of whack, and I cannot bring my sugar down by itself, and it's brought on by stress. And so I was coming out of a chest cold after Christmas, and then it just progressed, and I wasn't eating, and I didn't have an appetite. And then I got the ketoacidosis, so I had to go to the hospital so they could get my blood sugar straight again. But anyway, no, I'm doing great now, and I was glad to be home. And when I miss being away from my computer, when I come up with some ideas, and I have to make notes to myself on my phone so I can like go back and like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Because I mean, I will forget, like my memory I will forget something really quick. So I have to give myself reminders. And
It's Yeah, it's so easy to do that, isn't it? When you think, oh, that's a really good. I mean, I've just recently, because I haven't been doing anything well, I didn't do anything last year. I was touring, and but you can have a great idea, and then you think, oh yeah, I'm sure I'll remember that because I think it's a really good idea, and I'm excited by it. And then you get back, it might be out, and then you get back home, and you think, oh, I can't, I can't remember.
that is exactly the way I am.
Do you think
In
that's
my
age? I don't know, but I don't know we should know better, right? But I thought I'd written down, I thought some really, what I felt were fun and interesting ideas for lyrics. Turns out I didn't write them. I
uh-huh.
thought I had a list of them somewhere, which I've been looking for since, for like a couple of days. Turns out I didn't write that list. So whatever those ideas were, they weren't written down. So I've just done, but it does work like that, doesn't it? It can be random. It can be just anything that, just as you're out and about and just as you're just going about your day, it can be the most random experiences that really give rise
Yes.
to your ideas, right?
Yes, and I've got an iPhone, so I have the notes in there, and I have one page that's just nothing. It's just called jokes, and I've thought of things before, like I'm falling asleep or whatever. I'm like, man, I'll remember that tomorrow, and I totally forget it. So now I make sure to get on my phone and I write it down, a quick thing, and then I can fine tune it later so it
Yeah.
sounds
And,
funny.
and I don't know if I did ask you this before, actually, because I know that we went into the process because you were with your laptop last time. But who does influence you with your such a kind of straightforward question? But I just don't think I did actually ask you that last time. Maybe I did. But or who's around at the moment that you're vibing off? Maybe that's slight variation from what I can't believe I wouldn't have asked you before. I think I knew that you had a history in advertising, so we did talk about your background.
Yes,
But who's inspiring you at the moment, Darin?
there are some different there are some different Instagram pages. I can't think of right now ones in particular, but well, actually, I can. There's one page. It's called it's called Dumbass Photoshop, and this guy does great detailed work, and it's very funny. Excuse me. Then there's another one. Um, oh shoot, what's it called? Arcane. His page is called Arcane Memes. So he'll do like movie posters, but he'll change it, and so it's a comedic aspect of it. But the detail work is really good. So you got Arcane Memes, Dumbass Photoshop. Um,
And have you
I'm trying to
connected
think of.
with them? You probably comment on their stuff sometimes. Have you connected?
Yes, I comment on stuff, and I aspire to be like that because I see how many followers they have, and they have how many likes that they like some of the stuff that they do. So um, I don't know how much time that would take, but I'm just hoping that it'll be like a snowball. Hopefully, it's going to keep snowballing, and then I mean I've got hundreds of images now. I've been doing it for so long that I have so many images. And sometimes if I don't have a new idea, I'll just recycle one that I did, like from a couple of years ago until
Mm.
I get an idea of something in. Because there's
Of,
some people that have never seen them. So
of course,
anyway,
there'll be several people. There's a load of people that I'm sure would love to see them, and it's interesting you say that about you aspire to like have their kind of followings. I don't know. I'll check them out after this and have a look and see. And you wonder, I don't know how long they've been going, but there could have been a marketing campaign, or it could have been that they had like one that went viral. There can be so many reasons why. Sometimes
yes,
it may be that they've been doing it longer. It may be that they entered competitions. It may be that they took someone on board and they hired somebody to do their marketing for them for a little while.
hmm
So there's all sorts of reasons that aren't necessary. It could be organic growth. It could be how they are on. I mean, I know that you've got a background in sales as well, so you will be quite au fait with some of the things I'm saying. It could also be that they have done particularly well on one platform and then it's crossed over into others. So it is,
yeah,
and absolutely it is worth doing that kind of research actually when you are looking to grow your following with the genre that you're aspiring to, and to find out what the tricks are of what they have been doing, and do that research and
right.
actually and read some of the interviews by them, have a look and see what's going on for them, because it can give you ideas. I mean, I actually recommend you doing that. Have a look when you think about that,
That's
because it may not just be the organic growth, which is also cool, but there can be often there cannot be often different strategies that have been in place that aren't necessarily that difficult to then implement yourself. But it's always helpful, I think, when it's in a genre that you yourself are interested in growing your following. It's in a
a good
similar
idea.
genre. Yeah, just
Yeah,
read
that's a
some
good
of the
idea.
interviews, have a look and see what's going on for them in terms of their growth journey. Which sounds like a kind of yucky
There's
sales,
another guy. There's
but it's
another guy. It's called PF Meme Cinebrit. PF Memes something, and he's very detailed, and they're very funny. So I just always appreciate the ones that are very realistic looking, and you can tell that somebody knows what they're doing. I appreciate that. So there's probably like 3 or 4 pages on Instagram that I gravitate towards, and so I check them out.
Well,
every every few days.
that's
Yeah.
really cool, and I bet well, if they don't, they should be checking you out as well, because your stuff is it's really fantastic, and it's so accomplished. I mean, as I said, it's not something you would say for yourself, but it is, because I know you've been doing it for a long time. So as I
Yeah.
said before, what are if there's like something that you haven't done yet, what did you think of all the stuff with Prince William, or is that not something that you'd want to even consider? There was a whole big thing that blew up round here when he declared what had been going on, the revelations of the royal family and stuff, or what is it
Oh
that would,
yeah.
or I mean, that's kind of gone up, it's kind of had its arc now, although no doubt something else will come up. But is there anything currently in the news? I know that you mentioned a couple of things that takes your fancy, that you think you might have another go at.
With Prince Harry, I saw in Meghan, somebody did an image. It was them walking, coming out of a shop or something. And anyway, they flapped their heads on each other's body, but it was really well done. It was really well done. And I just looked at it. I wasn't going to post it, but I just thought it was funny. I don't remember I don't know what he entitled it, but that I just gravitate towards the level of professionalism, like what I try to achieve. And I've always liked surrealism too, like Salvador Dali when I was in school.
I'm seeing that in this image, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, curious you should say that. Why am I seeing that in this image? I am, though. What is it that you feel
Well,
you've incorporated from Salvador, from surrealism in this?
well, the surrealism kind of like I kind of thought of, the Duran song Mars Meets Venus. I just kind of thought of like with her body, she's nude. It's Venus de Malo or what have you. It kind of looks like that, and I wanted it to be transparent so you could see the hammerhead shark through her body and her body through the shark. And anyway, and then I found another image where the hair was floating, so I combined that so it looked like, like it's you hopefully you get the feeling that she's pretty far underwater. And um I really love Simon's lyrics on that. I get where he's coming from, and so that's what I was trying to incorporate for that, with the hammerhead and the female aspect of it with um
Yeah, you absolutely do get, and you said your some of your like artistic influences, because I think we maybe might have talked. Well, we talked about the current people that are inspiring you, and so yeah, surrealism in Salvador Dali. I mean, that was from what I don't know when that was. It was not what kind of decade was
he
that? But it's what
well,
was
gosh,
it?
he goes way back. He was in the first surrealist movement, and some of his images are really surreal looking, but then there are some, like, he was a master. I mean, it was so detailed, and then he was so ahead of his time. There's an image, his wife, her name was she was his muse, Gala, Gala, and she was his muse, and he did an image. I don't know, it was probably in the 60s, but it's Abraham Lincoln's head. It's a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, but you get back from it and it's like pixelated, like you would see a pixelated computer image now. Well, this was so far ahead. He was doing that, and it wasn't that, obviously there was no computers then to do anything like that. And so then when you look even closer, it's his wife that's making up the eyes and the shadows of the. It's just incredible.
His work
You
is
do it.
incredible, isn't it? I
Oh
mean, I think
yeah, I
that the
was a
main
big.
one that I know is the one that's got a clock in it, which is probably the most famous one that everybody. And I have been to a few of his
Yeah.
exhibitions actually, but there's other ones that I will have seen, but that I think there's one with the sliding, that melting, the most
Yes.
well-known one with the melting clock and stuff. So yeah, so
Yes.
surrealism, and that does come through that one that you did for me, which was amazing, which I loved, which was I think it was First Day on Mars. Thank you so much. Yeah. So
Yes. Yes.
now that you mention surrealism, of course, it's not really a surprise that you would have been influenced by that and you'd bring that in it.
Yeah.
So what is it, the elements of surrealism that you particularly love to incorporate in your own way? Because it wouldn't instantly have said it, because your stuff appears so contemporary because of partly the material, the techniques you're using, but of course every artist has frames of reference. So yeah, what is it about? Well, I think you did kind of mention a little bit with this
I
one
think
about
it
what you
has to
like
do
about
with
surrealism.
dreams, lucid dreaming. I think when
Oh,
I have very vivid dreams,
do
and
you?
not every night, but here lately I've been remembering them. So I have these they're really detailed. I was telling my mom about it. I was like, listen to this. This is crazy. I had a dream about my dad, and I had a dream, and this, and I'm doing this, and they're doing this, and it's like, why would my mind even, what even was the impetus for me to think of that? So I think with the part of lucid dreaming in dreams, that is the surreal, because dreams can be so surreal, and they seem so real. They seem so realistic, but they turn out to be surreal because when you wake up, you're like, wow, that was crazy, but it seemed so real at the time. But that, and when I was coming along, I've done oil painting, acrylic painting, all of that, and I always strove for to be as realistic as I could be, but I didn't have, I guess I didn't pursue it long enough to get into it. So nothing never looked as realistic the way I wanted to. So then when Photoshop came along, I got started with that in 1988, and I was fortunate. I worked for a company, printing company, and so they basically paid me to learn to do it. And it's just one of those things where I'm not a mathematician, and there are people that just look at numbers and they do all this. Well, I took to Photoshop right away. We went to Philadelphia. There was the DuPont plant up there. We had bought this big scanner, so it included 3 days of intense Photoshop training. Now, at that time, my company, we only did black and white work. But what fascinated me, Anna, is when we went there. I'm in this class, and they've got Photoshop up, and they were taking somebody's eye, their pupils that were brown, and they made them blue, or they made them, lavender, like Elizabeth Taylor's eyes. And that totally drew me in, that you could change colors like that. Um, so then our company bought this other company, and they did 4-color work, which the 4-color I was telling you before, it's cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Whenever you see
I
any images
remember.
on a printed page, on a printed magazine, it's made up of those 4 colors. So I learned to adjust the curves of each color. If I can, let's say I isolate, the eyes of the pupil. It's called a clipping path. I draw a path around it. Essentially, I'm isolating that part of the image. And then you can adjust the curves to get the colors that you want. And so that just fascinated me. I'm like, this is incredible. So Photoshop met the criteria that I couldn't do as a painter. I wasn't that realistic like I wanted to
Ah,
be. So Photoshop married
facilitated
all of
that.
the things. Yeah, that
And
that
so
sort of,
much, yeah, and so
yes.
much more, and really gave you the freedom to explore in the way and developed to where we are now, which are these extremely accomplished images that you're creating. And so what is like, where are you wanting to go? What's like the um uh, with the new work that you're doing, where are your areas of new interest? They're often
Uh,
incremental, but they're usually there
yeah.
because yeah, where, yeah.
When I talked to you last time, the last interview, and I did not mean this like false modesty, but when I was saying that with Photoshop, I really barely scratched the surface. But I mean, I know I'm accomplished, but I mean, there's so much to it that I mean, I'm constantly learning. When I did that image of you on Mars, that was a technique where you were like, um, the gold fuzzies were coming out of the Lamborghini, and it was like um, uh, um, coming back together, and that's you coming up on the stage, so you could see the gold. So that was like metamorphosing into that, and I thought, and I had the idea to do it when I did your image, but I didn't know how to do it like I wanted it to. So anyway, I created some custom brushes in Photoshop. So you taught me, because I did that image for you. I learned to do something that I hadn't done before with that. So it looked like you were decomposing and coming out of the car with those gold, and then reconstituting yourself and then coming up into the screen. I was like, that was a surrealist image that I had. But when we were talking, I thought about it. And I said that would be cool to do, and I thought you would appreciate it. So I went on your page and I looked at all of your images that you had, and so I found the ones that I thought would work well. So anyway, yeah, I created a custom brush in Photoshop, and I learned the to get the effect that I wanted by doing that image for you. So that's what I mean. It's not false modesty. When I say, there's, I know I'm accomplished with what I do, but there's so much left to learn. And so that's why it engages me, because it's so, being a creative person, it's just, it's endless. I mean, the deeper you go, the more it opens up to you. There's so much to do. So I try to focus on more color theory now with stuff that I'm doing with color. I talked to you before, I think, about the Pantone colors. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but they have a Pantone book, and what it is artists look at them, graphic artists, and you have a Pantone book, and it's basically, it looks like a bunch of paint swatches. Like if you go to the Home Depot or something, you're going to buy paint, so you could look at all these swatches of, do I want this room to be eggshell or powder blue, or so anyway, so that's what the Pantone book is like. So what it does is you pick a color that you want, and then it gives you the corresponding breakdown: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, so you can create that exact color on screen.
We did touch on that on the last interview, I think I remember.
Yes. So like with the image behind you, with the hammerhead image, I knew the colors that I wanted to use. And so I just adjusted the curves on that. And then I did that background gradation. So it looks like, it's the red is at the bottom and it's getting darker as you go up. Anyway, I thought it worked well together. So I'm trying to focus more on color theory, and some of that, so I have increase my arsenal of something. If I have an idea, I really dig at it till I can figure out how to do it. And then I own it. So then the next time it comes up, I can do something. I'm fortunate because I get an idea, and because I've been doing Photoshop so long, 25, 30 years anyway, I'm able to work quick. When I get the idea, I'm able to work quick. I don't get frustrated and bogged down like I did with painting, and I'm like, man, I can't get this to look like I want. So with Photoshop, because it's like, if you know how to use tools, if you're a guitarist and you really know how to play the guitar, you get an idea. Well, you don't have to work it out. You know how to get the guitar to sound like what you want. So to me, that's how Photoshop is with me. I get an idea, because I know what I'm capable of with it, I'm able to work pretty quick. So most images that I work on take me, I try to do something that takes about an hour. I try to get these images done in an hour.
Well, Darin,
that's my goal.
Yeah, Darin, I think it's wonderful for you and also for everybody else, because you are so accomplished that you feel you've only just scratched the surface with Photoshop. That means we have so much more to discover with your work in the future. And I'm really excited for you that Photoshop still has that capacity for exploration, so that you can, for a couple of examples that you did give, whether it's color theory and developing your color theory, or whether it's specific techniques where you've got an idea, as in the example of the album cover that you did for me, and then how you can explore something new with I think you said custom brushing. So I love that you're working with a software. It is a software, right? You're working with with a software that will facilitate so many more of your ideas, of which there are so many. And really the imagination is core, and at that because you can have all the software you like, but if you don't have the ideas, then not much is going to come out. So long may it last, Darin, because your imagination and your expertise, the combination, you're just a wonderful inspiration for all artists to work at their craft and to have fun as well. sometimes not take it too seriously. And you are gifted and have worked long enough at your craft to have but all of those options available to you. So I want to thank you very, very much today
Oh, thank
for
you,
for
and thank you
agreeing to
because
do the
today
interview.
I made you laugh today, and that was my goal. So I've had a great day now because you laughed at some of my work. That's great.
Oh, thank you. And inspired because I'm pretty rusty. I haven't written anything for ages. So chatting to you it is really inspiring for all sorts of the reasons that we've discussed
Oh, great.
over the last hour or whatever it is. So yeah, look forward to seeing what comes next. And I'm really
Yeah,
excited for, yeah, again, it's great to know that you have the software available to you so that you've got plenty more exploring, and we've got plenty more receiving and sharing of your ideas to look forward to. Thanks so much,
yes,
Darin.
thank you. Your opinion really means a lot to me, and I really I'm glad to be your friend, and I admire your creativity as well. And thank you for this platform where I can share my work, and I really appreciate you, and look forward to following you and talking again in the future.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm going to move out the way so you can be left with the image rather than again. All right. All the best, Darin.
You too, Anna. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Bye.